I want to speak about three big principles here on Youth Day, on value investing for the youth. Principle number one, understand the game. Yes, it's a game. Don't take it too seriously, right? It's a game. A game of what? Of buying businesses, of buying companies. Because the stock market is a collection of businesses. So don't worry about all the news, we call that noise. Don't worry about the politics. Don't worry about that. Focus on the business, the McDonald's, right? And does the business make money? Because if you have a business and you're not making money, it's not a business, it's a hobby. It's a hobby. So your business must make money and then also it must make profit. So remember, when you make your sales, you must minus your expenses. And what you're left with is the profit. It's after you've paid all the expenses. So when you saw that example, the lemonade stand, let's say she made $500 for the day, but then the stand costed $10, right? The cost of the lemons was also $10. So if you plus the stand for $10 and the lemons for $10, that's $20. You then take the $500 sales, subtract the $20 expenses, and what are you left with? 480. That's your profit. So a business must make money. And then when you manage your expenses, you must still be left with a profit. And then please remember this as you're starting out buying stocks, you must use your profit for good. Use your profit for good. So see how you can help the community, people around you with the money that you're going to make from the stock market. Use it for good. Remember what I said, money is not bad. Money is not good. It's the heart of the person with the money. So with money, you can either use it for bad things or you can use it for good things. It's a choice. So, principle number one, the stock market is just a collection of businesses, right? McDonald's. And as long as you understand the business, you can invest in it. Never invest in something you don't understand. That's what Warren Buffett says. Principle number one, understand the business. What? Understand two things. How does the business make money and how does the business make a profit? So if you look at the cost, let's say it costs $5 to make a McDonald's burger. McDonald's won't sell it for the same $5 because they must make a profit. So they sell it for $7. So they make a $2 profit. And then as a shareholder, you get a portion of those profits known as dividends. Known, known as dividends. Okay. Principle number two, always play the long game. Remember I said the stock market, it's a game. It's a game to only invest in companies that you understand, right? Once you find a company that you understand, I understand how they make money, I understand how they make a profit, then play the long game. What do I mean? Don't want to make money overnight. Don't want to make quick money. Don't look for get rich quick scheme. No, no, no. Play the long game. Say, okay, Rich said I must look at the 5-year returns, the 10-year returns. So I'm still young. I'm 15. I'm 20. I can invest for the next 10 years. I can invest for the next 20 years. I'm not in a rush. When we talk about investing, it's like a marathon. And you don't sprint in a marathon. If you sprint in a marathon, you're not going to be able to finish the marathon. You might faint. So you pace yourselves and you go slowly. You play the long game. I call it the LG. So if you're ready to play the LG, just write LG in the chat section. Play the long game. The stock market is a game of investing in businesses you understand, and then you want to play the long game. So I'm going to buy McDonald's and I'm going to stay a McDonald's shareholder for 5 years, for 10 years, for 20 years. Remember what I said? Warren Buffett started at age 11 and he has 100 billion US dollars now, but he's 95 years old. He's been investing for 8 decades, for 80 years. So we're not in a rush because wealthy people, they play the long game. Broke people play the short game. Broke people want shortcuts. They want to make money overnight. You want to have a wealthy mindset. How do you have a wealthy mindset? You play the long game. So let's say you start with 200, dollars per year. And like I said, maybe 100 US dollars from your birthday, 100 US dollars from Christmas, or $200 for your allowance for the whole year, right? If you invest 200 per year for 20 years at 15% interest per year, so that just means your share price will grow at 15% every year. Do you know how much that 200 US dollars will become? Who wants to take a guess? That 200 US dollars becomes, um, for South Africans, the 3,200 Rand for 20 years. So you put in the 3,000 Rand every year for 20 years. If it grows at 15%, do you know that 3,200 Rand will be 380,000 Rand? $200 will be 23,000 Rand. We call that, that's like 100x. Times by 100x. But your secret was time. Your secret was 20 years, not 20 hours or 20 days, 20 years. So play the long game. That's principle number two. Play the long game. And then principle number three, we call it diversify. That just means spread your money. So let's say you get the 200 US dollars. You save that up from your allowances, your birthday, your Christmas. You're not going to put that whole 200 US dollars just into McDonald's stock. No, no, no. You're going to spread that money out. So that's what we call diversify. You don't put all your eggs in one basket, right? You put one egg in this basket, one egg in that basket. So you have 5 eggs in 5 different baskets. You're not putting all your money in one place. That's what we call diversify. You spread in your money because you're lowering your risk. Risk just means that there's not a guarantee. There's a risk that you can lose your money. That's why Warren Buffett says only invest in businesses you understand. Safe businesses like McDonald's. You're lowering your risk. Other people, they want to put their money in Bitcoin, in cryptocurrency. That is too risky. Warren Buffett only invests in big businesses that's been around for many years and he understands them. Coca-Cola, um, Apple, all right? What businesses do you understand? If you're from South Africa, you understand Standard Bank, you understand ABSA, you understand how they make their money, you understand they make a profit. They've been around for 100 years, so it's a safe investment, right? And then you don't put all your money in the banks. You put some in McDonald's, you put some in the banks, you put some in Apple. What are you doing? You're spreading your money around. We call that diversify. It's a very important principle. Okay. So this is a very complicated screen here, but it's just to show you that the stock market has 11 sectors. Sectors is just another word for industries. So there's information technology, which means IT, computers, then financial, which is your banks, your communication services in America, it's Verizon, in South Africa, it's Vodacom. Consumer discretionary, that just means what you choose to buy, like you choose to buy McDonald's. Healthcare, that's hospitals or pharmacies. Industrials, that is your factories, your Then consumer staples, that just means stuff you need, essentials like food. So in the States, we'll call that Walmart or Costco. In Africa, we'll call that ShopRite or Pick and Pay. Staples, you need it. And then energy, it's like electricity, utilities, also stuff you need in everyday life. Materials, that's more your raw materials. So it's like your gold, your platinum, and then real estate. So that's not residential real estate like your house that you're living in. It's what we call commercial real estate, which is like shopping malls, hotels, office blocks. That is what we call commercial real estate. Okay, so the stock market is broken up into 11 sectors, right? 11 industries. Just choose five. You don't have to invest in all 11. Choose five. Okay? Choose five different companies in five different industries. And your parents can help you with this. Put 20% of your money into each sector. So let's just say you have $1,000, right? You're going to put 20% of the thousand into a bank, 20% of the thousand into restaurants, 20% of the thousand into a computer company. Are you with me? So you put your $200 of your thousand in McDonald's, $200 into Verizon or Vodacom. You're spreading out the $200 because you don't want to put your whole thousand into one company. And you're making sure that each company is in a different sector. So you're not going to put 200 into Google and 200 into Apple. It's the same industry, it's the same sector. You want to spread out your risk. Choose five different companies in five different industries. This is how you learn to spread your money. And if you can learn this from a young age, you're on your way because now you have a proper stock portfolio, a proper list of companies that you own. Yes, you own. If you buy one Apple share, you own a piece of Apple. How amazing is that? You don't just consume, you consume plus you own. So whenever Apple makes sales and makes a profit, you get a portion of that profit as a dividend because you own a piece of Apple. You are owner. And if you can start from a young age to not just be a consumer, but be an owner, that's how you're going to build your wealth, by being a shareholder. So I want to just give examples of five companies. Um, so parents, I'm not necessarily saying they must buy these companies. It's just the thinking that you want to spread it into five different industries. So in the restaurant industry, an example is McDonald's. You put 288 US dollars, you get one McDonald's share. And it's company number two, Bank of America. If you live in South Africa, Standard Bank, ABSA, Nedbank, Capitec, 56 US dollars into Bank of America. And if you have 200 US dollars, you can buy 3 or 4 shares of Bank of America. And it's, as you guys remember, there's the share code. Every share has a share code, BAC, and they show you where it's listed. Bank of America, it's listed on the stock exchange, New York Stock Exchange. And then when we look at information technology, which is IT, Apple, share code AAPL, look where it's listed, NASDAQ, because the NASDAQ has the biggest technology companies in the world. Remember the Mag 7? And you can buy one Apple share for about 300 US dollars, 299.8. Remember that share price will bounce every day, but we don't care because we are prepared to hold Apple shares for 5 years, 20 years, because that's where you get your growth over time, right? And then company number four is a communication service company, Verizon at 46 US dollars. If you live in South Africa, you can buy Vodacom, you can buy MTN. It's all about spreading your risk. And then company number five, healthcare. your Johnson and Johnson for 235.62 for one. I mean, Johnson and Johnson. If you live in South Africa, you could buy Netcare, you could buy Discam. That's an example of a healthcare stock. So you guys know how to build um, your first five companies in your stock portfolio. Make sure they're in five different industries and make sure that you didn't put more than 20% of your capital, of your money into one stock. Make 20% the maximum. And guys, that is it. Value investing for youth. Thank you for joining me this year. Remember the three principles. Principle number one, when you invest in the stock market, it's a game, right? It's a game to only invest in businesses you understand. Understand what? How do they make money? We know that Apple sells smartphones. Then they sell subscription services like Apple Music, Apple TV. We store our stuff on the cloud. We pay for that. So we know how they make money. And then they mustn't just make money, they must make a profit. And then they must use their profit for good. All right. Then principle number two, the stock market is a game, but you have to play the long game. Don't try to make money next week or next month. Think 5 years, 10 years, 20 years. And principle number three, diversify. What does that mean? Spread your money around. Don't put all your eggs in one basket. Spread it across at least five different industries and never put more than 20% of your capital in any one business, in any one industry. Spread your risks. Guys, if you can stick to these three principles, you are on your way to building wealth. And then you use that wealth to travel, to see the world. I went to Jurassic World, that's in California, Universal Studios. It was amazing. But you set goals, not just I want to make money, I want to see the world. And not just I want to make money, I want to help people. Let's put the you are blessed to be the blessing. Right? So you blessed with parents. They registered you on this event so you could get this knowledge. Thank your parents. Say, thank you, mom. Thanks, dad. I am ready now to invest. I understand the foundations. And I understand it's a long game. I began when I was 19. I'm now 38. So I've been investing for more than 15 years. Warren Buffett investing for 80 years. So it's a it's a long game, but it's worth it because you get to travel and see the world and bless people. Bless bless people around you. I mean, I tell you, mom and dad, when I make my first profits, I'm going to buy you a chocolate. I'm going to buy something special from the returns from my own stocks. Because what's amazing is those McDonald's shares, those Apple shares, they work for you. The market works for us because it's an asset. It increases in value. So you can look at all your stocks as your little assets that you build in over time. So you are blessed to be the blessing, to bless, to bless others. So it was lovely to have you guys, join this year. We're going to send out the recording as well so you can watch it over and over and over. We call it repetition. That's how we learned our times tables, our maths, our language, how to read, repetition, how to drive, repetition. It's the same with the stock market. So we're going to send this recording out, watch it again so you can learn through repetition. And awesome. Remember to thank your parents for registering for this event. Awesome, awesome, guys. This is Rich saying much love, and I wish you all the best on the stock market.